It's that special time of the week, of course, when Jarret slips into our DMs and gets all physical. So we welcome it. And how's it going, mate?
Yeah, it's great. Just recovering from the onslaught of Monster Fest weekenders, and we're just on the cusp of announcing another one that we can't reveal just yet because it's going to be announced in a day or two's time if all goes to plan. But yeah, just recovering from all those slasher films. So needless to say, I haven't watched any slashers since, and I'll probably give it another week and then I'll gently ease back into it.
Oh, speaking of slashes, I might just compliment you. I did listen to your audio commentary with Tony Martin, and it was fantastic. So congrats to him.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great news. Well,
on
funnily enough,
Houseboat
last
Horror.
week it got a yeah, that's the one. Ben, it's not in the swamp. Stop looking. You've left it at home. You haven't brought it out to the swamplands, out to the bayou. It's not here. Oh,
special cameo
hang
appearance.
on. Is that
It's a
Swamp Thing?
Sasquatch. It's
Yeah,
uh,
no, last week, OCN in the States announced that they'll be releasing by Umbrella Entertainment Houseboat Horror in the US. So it's coming
nice.
out in the US and Canada, and it's going to be the same feature-packed local release, except it'll have alternate slipcover artwork. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, excellent. I'm still just getting over that cameo. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Normally you've got to pay for a cameo like that. We're just giving
So
it to you
Yeah.
for free.
that's right. So what's going on in the world of physical, mate?
Well, it's a wonderful week for home entertainment this week. We've got your friend Robert Connolly's new film, Dry Harder, Dry 2, coming out on Blu-ray and DVD, or Force of Nature as it's called. But I'm completely with you, lads. They should have changed the title because I'm getting confused with that Ben Affleck, Sandra Bullock movie that was absolute trash. Tried to watch that thing twice. It just never got better.
Have you considered a
So
third
yeah, the
time?
Dry 2. Well, hopefully they'll do a sequel to the Forces of Nature, Ben Affleck, Sandra Bullock one. I'm sure they're both pretty keen to do something that isn't arguing outside of a car, a la Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. I dare
I
say we
bet,
might see that
I
sooner
reckon they'll
than
call it.
Jiggly 2 or Jersey Girl 2.
I reckon they'll call it Forces of Nature 2: The Dry.
Yeah, I was trying to shoehorn that joke in there as well, and I just decided
Yeah,
not to go for it.
no, it was low-hanging fruit, but I loved it. So yeah, that one's coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. Then another Aussie film that's coming out this week on Home Ant, also from Roadshow, is The Rooster, which is played pretty much every festival around Australia with Hugo Weaving. Unfortunately, it's only going to get a DVD release, no Blu-ray for this one. But still good that it's getting a physical release. Then also from Roadshow, but from the Warner catalog, we've got everyone's favorite director, my friend and yours, Steven Soderbergh,
Mhm.
with the Oceans trilogy coming out in 4K Ultra HD. So it's all three of the Oceans films, Oceans 11, 12, 13. We don't include 8 because it's not in the pack. And, it's technically not canon if it's not in this pack, but I don't care. And it's all archival special features, nothing new. In fact, you don't even get all the archival special features. It's a bit of a best of. And they couldn't even be bothered to do Dolby Vision or Dolby Atmos on this release. You only get HDR10 and the existing DTS HD master audio tracks that were on the Blu-ray. So I don't know if it's worth the upgrade. I mean,
Outrageous.
like I said, you could just walk into a Cashies and probably pick up the three of them on Blu-ray for $2. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I certainly won't be upgrading. In fact, I don't own them because they're directed by Steven Soderbergh. Guy has made some good films,
He has
admittedly,
made
but
plenty of good films.
yeah. Oh, I don't know. If plenty is an exaggeration. He's made plenty of films, but I'm not entirely sure if many of them are great or good for that matter. But anyway, that's it from Roadshow. Then we've also actually no, there is one more Roadshow title. It's a DVD only title, but I know that if I didn't mention it, you guys would get very upset because it's got two of your favorites in it, Frank Grillo and Michael J. White. And it's
Mhm.
an action film by the title MR9 Do or Die. So
Yes.
this one's coming out and it looks like a DTV perler, but I'm sure you guys will be excited
It's
for it.
got a very generic
Is
cover,
that
like the rest of them.
Totally
is
does.
that
And the
through our good
logo
friends at
looks like the MR Mission Impossible
Yeah.
logo, the way they've done the typeface.
Is that from our good friends at Eagle Entertainment, or is
No, this one's from Roadshow,
No.
surprisingly. No. But the only other distributor releasing titles on home entertainment this week that are worth mentioning is Eagle Entertainment, funnily enough. And they've got quite a few releases. They've got Jack in the Box rises again. And from
Number
memory,
3,
Glenn,
I
you're a
think.
bit of a fan of the
No,
is this the third
yeah,
installment, is
I
it?
wouldn't go that far. I interviewed the director and I enjoyed the chat.
Yeah, right. I thought you liked the first one.
Hmm.
No, that's just
Well,
what he
you
told
like
the director when he interviewed him.
Yeah, yeah.
A complete
I haven't gone
fabrication.
near them. I haven't gone near them. I've been scarred since watching, 30 odd minutes of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Look, I've got to
I
say,
don't think
like
I can
I
touch any of
certainly
these.
didn't hate it. And the concept is quite good. I didn't love it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Well, there's more of that coming with the third installment then on home entertainment this week. DVD only from Eagle Entertainment, but also coming out from Eagle Entertainment. I don't know what you'd call this one. It's kind of creature feature, almost mockbuster, but I don't know if it's really mockbusting anything. It's Crocodile Swarm. Which Ben, look,
Ooh.
Glenn might have a copy in the swampland there, which makes a lot of sense given that it's a crocodile of some sort. There it is.
Sort of.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I
there you
actually
go.
like the
Disappearing in
tagline
the
on the
mud.
cover of this one. It's
The
something like the
tagline.
beasts
The beasts
are ready to feast.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought that was a pretty decent tagline, but of course you've got a copy of it there because I can imagine you watching. I do hope you report back to us as to what it's like.
I will. I will.
It's got to be better than that one that was
Are we
set in a
interviewing the
prison
director
with
of
the
that one?
shark, the flood.
Yeah, that's right. What was that, Ben?
Are we interviewing the director of that one?
No, but obviously, of course, coming up on today's show, we have the director of Jericho Ridge, which
And that was the next title I was going to
there you
mention,
go.
Jericho Ridge.
And that is
There
a
you go.
fantastic movie. That's really good. Very Coen Brothersy. Like
I think you've spoken to us before just in private about that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
Assault on Precinct 13 meets that kind of thing. So anyway,
The Coen brothers.
Yeah.
Right. And do you happen to have back in the swampland there, do you have a copy of Corner Office with John Hamm? There it is. This one I definitely want to see because I do love a good ham sandwich. And
I've got
admittedly,
a
I
copy here for you,
enjoyed
mate.
Confess Fletch, even though it wasn't anything like the classic Fletch and Fletch Lives. But it was John Hamm doing Fletch, and he did what he could
It was
with
good.
a pretty weak script.
It was.
It wasn't
probably
bad. Like,
closer
yeah, it
to
was
the
all
book.
right.
It was closer to the books
Oh,
than
there
the
you go.
Chevy.
Yeah.
The Chevy Chase ones were
Yeah.
nothing like the books because the books
Definitely
are a lot
way
more.
zany, actual
Like in the-
detective kind of.
Well, in the first book, all that stuff with Norm from Cheers on the beach and stuff. In the book, he is definitely banging those underage prostitutes and doing heroin with them and all sorts of shit. Like he's not a kind of a benign father figure. He is banging them.
I read an article the other
See,
day.
we need.
I read an article the other day. Let's revisit Fletch Lives. It's an underrated classic.
And look, it is. I don't think it's. In my book, it's not even underrated. I've always considered it to be a bit of a classic. It's not like Weekend at Bernie's 2 that gets an unfair amount of shit, considering, it's a pretty good sequel, for what it is.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Who would have
But
thought
I
there was
always
life
think
left
that-
in that franchise?
Judged by the standards of the day, they weren't as good as the original. But if you judge it by what passes as a lot of comedies that come out now,
100%.
especially from the studios, they're gold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
why
particularly
reevaluating movies is so good these days.
Oh, yeah. And these sequels that come like 20 or 30 years after the original, like, Zoolander, I think was probably about 10 or 15 years, but then Dumb and Dumberer, which I quite liked. But that Zoolander 2 was repulsive, as was that Anchorman 2 rubbish. And that what worries me about the Happy Gilmore sequel is that, I don't know, like it seems 30 years is a long time to wait for an Adam Sandler sequel.
It is, but the concept is good. The concept is
I'll be
good.
there.
It's on
And
the
look, if it's a
seniors
hit, maybe they'll revisit Little Nicky and we'll get a
Seniors tour.
sequel to that. I would love that. Anything but Grown Ups 3 or Sandy Wexler 2, please.
Speaking of late sequels in physical media, I did see that someone, defying all logic, has actually released Roadhouse 2 on Blu-ray with Jonathan J.
I think it might be one of those MVD Entertainment releases in the.
So now you can finally reclaim that classic title, Glenn.
I have been missing that more than I thought I ever would.
There's a part in your heart, and maybe they'll do Vacancy 2 and some of these other, sort of unknown sort
Hitcher
of sequels that crept out. Hitcher 2. Well, yeah, there's no
Hitcher
HD
2.
Hitcher 2.
That's such a
Flying out
missed
for a
opportunity
release.
from Umbrella when they brought out the
Yeah, I
Hitcher
reckon.
Blu-ray. Hitcher 2 was there, ready and waiting, and they just fuffed it.
Well, maybe they
It's
can
Jake
do.
Busey as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
in
maybe
the
they
in
can
the
do
Rutger Hauer
Roadhouse
part.
2
Yeah.
and Hitcher 2 together because it's a Jake Busey double number tour.
Bloody
Yeah.
oath, there you go.
He's the
Yeah,
villain
that'd
in
be a
both.
great double pack. Yeah. So
The ultimate
that's
number
it
twos.
That's it for releases out this week, but I did want to mention some titles that are coming soon. One that I know Glenn will be very excited about that's coming out in July, Purple Rain on 4K Ultra HD.
Mate, that will be going in my basket.
So that's
So
a
the
good one. And
world's-
because it's
one of-
coming...
It's one of the cheapest Blu-rays in JB Hi-Fi's catalog.
I know.
I'm glad that they're finally giving it the treatment it deserves by giving it, hopefully, making it the cheapest 4K in JB Hi-Fi's catalog.
I think you'll be able to get it for anywhere between $26.98 to $29.98 at JB.
Bloody classic, mate.
But yeah,
classic.
you're right, because they were selling it at like $4 or something, $5 for the Blu-ray for years. But I remember when Prince passed, there was obviously a demand from, consumers. They wanted to own a piece of Prince's history and his cinematic legacy, all 3 films. And they actually weren't in print at the time from, Roadshow Warner. And so they quickly pressed them, but I think they must have actually miskeyed. And instead of pressing, say, 5,000 units, must have done 50,000 units and kind of overcooked the thing, because you can still find Under a Cherry Moon and Graffiti Bridge and Purple Rain in most JB stores. And I'm pretty sure they're carrying that ticket price of $6.98. When 20% comes around, you're paying about $4 something for that. But anyway, I will upgrade that one on 4K, because admittedly, I've only seen this film twice, once theatrically with Glenn, which was my first experience, and then at home on Blu-ray, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think that film will pop with, HDR10 or Dolby Vision, whatever it be. I hope that they do Dolby Atmos for it, because that is a film
such
that's
a great
crying out for
slice of its time.
Absolutely. That said, I did go and watch the other 2, because I picked them up, of course, when they were about $5 at JB. And needless to say, it was a one-trick pony when it came to making movies.
That's right. Graffiti Bridge, he directed, and it was a direct sequel to Purple Rain, and it was fucking atrocious.
Intolerable. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so another release I want to mention that's coming out. It's coming out in June, and it's June 2. It's coming out on June 12th, which I think is disappointing, because I think it should have come out on June 2, and then it would have been great. I actually, at the Monster Fest Weekender, I had someone come up to me, and we're having a chat about recent movies, and they said, have you seen, June 2? And I said, oh, Doom Annihilation? No, I never made it that far. I go, the first one was all right, but after Mortal Kombat Annihilation, I don't think I could stand any sequels with Annihilation in the title. And they said, no, Doom 2. And I'm like, yeah, it's called Doom Annihilation. It was just like this dude, where's my car moment back and forth. Anyway, no, I haven't seen it, but I look forward to checking it out on home entertainment. And then the last release I want to mention that's coming in the near future, and when I say near future, it's actually pretty far away. It's almost Q4 end of the year. It's The Crow. It's coming out on 4K, but it's not coming out locally apparently till September, which is mind-boggling given the fact that it just released in the US on 4K and it's out early next month in the UK on 4K. So needless to say, come September, I'll already have it on 4K, because I'm an impatient man and I want to watch it so I can
coming.
I'm assuming it's in September, maybe, and that's why the local release is being, held off.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a smart decision, because they're kind of like, well, I don't want to put it out too soon, because then people will be comparing the 2 films and be going, this isn't my Crow.
Is it the same studio?
No, because I think it's coming out locally through Paramount via All Interactive Distribution, the original. The Alex Proyas one, and the new one's coming out through Roadshow.
Yeah, so there won't be a
used to have the rights. No, but you never know, because who knows if Roadshow will be around next year? They could be distributed by All Interactive Distribution. We might have get every single incarnation of the Crow in one set.
Well, so what happened to a 4K release of Crow 2, 3, and 4?
Well, I mean, I think Crow 3, is that Salvation?
Yeah.
I think that one, it did get a Blu-ray release in the US, but Shout Factory, who has the license, had that much faith in it being such a popular seller that they made it a website exclusive to their website, which means they can only sell it to residents in the US and Canada, and they only pressed 1,500 units. So even if you're using a mail ordering, service to get it from Shout Factory or whatever they call themselves now, Shout Studios, to Australia, there's only 1,500 up for grabs. And that was released a couple months ago, and I'm pleased to say it's still available. So I guess the demand's not there for it, but alas. Anyway, I'll be curious. I should probably leave something on Alex Preuss's page and go, any good? Should I bother checking this one out? He's been quite vocal about the new one.
Yes, he has. I want to know his thoughts on number 2, City of Angels, because I think that's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, well, you should raise it with him. I'd be keen to hear his thoughts.
I had him on the show, and I didn't dare.
Oh, yeah, it's almost dangerous ground, but you should. I said this to Ben the other day. There's a new show that's just started airing in New Zealand recently. I don't think it's come to Australia yet. It's on Sky over there, called Dark City: The Stranger. And so when I saw the holding slide come up on YouTube, I got kind of excited because I was like, hang on, they've made a Dark City series? And I go, well, maybe they have. I just haven't been following it that closely. No, it's like New Zealand's very comical version of Dexter. And admittedly, after I watched the trailer, I was like, oh, this is much better.
He made a like a short film sequel to Dark City, which is why he was on the show to talk about a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Did he do it with one of the virtual screen sort of thing that he does?
Yeah. Look, yeah. It wasn't that crash hot, to be honest with you.
But because he doesn't have screens as fancy as these ones, because legitimately anyone watching this on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, I see they're on TikTok, and you've amassed quite a few followers on there as well. Not like the Monsterfest TikTok, which I think we haven't quite hit double digits yet. The videos get views, but people just don't feel like subscribing. But yeah, these videos and these backdrops are fairly elaborate. So maybe you can have a chat to Alex Preuss, get him back on the show, tell him how this is done and what his thoughts are on Crow City of Angels.
We could just make our own with the three of us. We could just make our own special Dark City movie where, like, we all wake up in bathtubs and don't know who we are, and then we just spend the PE class trying to figure it out.
And Ben, your old man, can cameo as one of those underworld people.
He can come in again, and drop off. He was dropping off the place to be raffle ticket membership thing. I'm not sure why.
Well, that was important.
Yeah.
I was going to mention, though, Glenn, you've got a few contacts. There's a good chance that we could kind of bowfinger stylings, sneak Hugo Weaving, or someone of some sort of, credibility that's attached to the Dark City franchise or film into our Zoom sequel.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be great. Let's do it.
Well, we should totally do it. Anyway, gentlemen, that's all the news and all the releases I've got for you this week. So until next time,
stay physical.
Stay physical. Hey, where's Nick? Is Nick coming back in to say stay physical or what?